All right, we're going to go into part C, and that is tell the world. Learning to tell the world takes a little bit of courage. Learning to step out and communicate your vision, how you define things, is learning to tell people what you're passionate about. I have to say that you have a voice, and the world is trying to silence your voice. When you start communicating to the world of how you want to help them, how you want to serve them, if you don't have the courage to continue, then you will be vulnerable to other people's criticisms, jokes, ridicules, trolling. There's dysfunctional people out there exhibiting and sharing their dysfunctional behavior online, and you have to learn to not take that personal. Your voice can entertain, teach, or serve other people, and it's so important that you do this telling part. The telling part is like eventually be your marketing and your advertising and how you sell people your passion. You don't even have to sell. Just tell your stories and communicate your product with passion, and that is enough to make people want to buy you and believe in you because of how you define it and how you share your vision. So over time, you may be able to write. As an introvert, I love to write and stay behind the computer. That's how I started my whole business in 2012, is with a blog. Over time, people around the world, I could see Google Analytics, and they would tell me all over the world, these people were reading my blog. And eventually, people started saying, would you show me a video of what you mean? Hairstylists say, would you teach me what you're teaching? So that led to online courses and live trainings and all kinds of opportunities from just writing a blog behind the computer as an introvert. Then I had to start expressing myself with video, online courses, and live trainings. But you know what? I don't have fear because, as I mentioned before, I have a system. The system overrides fear. Passion overrides fear. Passion with a system is communicating to the world exactly what you believe and how it can help them, and what you lead people to is your trainings, products and services, books, ebooks. The service that you provide your clients will ultimately come down to how you write, the photos that you share, the videos that you share, other artistic mediums that tell the world exactly who you are, what you value, what you do, how you define your service experience, and the vision that you have, because so many people are visionless. They don't have faith. They've lost sight. They've become blind to what's possible for themselves and for other people. So when you cast vision, you're giving hope to a community of people that want to believe in you and trust in you, and it just takes time. So if you stay silent, then you become thin-skinned over time. A thin-skinned person has no courage, the inability to take a risk. They just stay comfortable, and they just live life with a sense of bitterness, resentment, and a form of resignation that just says, this is the way life is, and I'm just gonna coast. But when you start putting yourself out there and start telling the world, and you start getting little pings of people saying things about you and saying things of you, then if you persist through that, because you realize it's just other people's dysfunctional behavior that you really don't need to take personal, that over time your skin starts to thicken and you don't lose as much sleep as you normally do. Now, I still lose some sleep over what some people say about me or what they do about me, whatever that is, and I can lose sleep and wake up at 3 in the morning, and all of a sudden those thoughts are rambling in my head. But it's no way like what it is, because I realize I don't have to take personal the things that people say about me, good or bad. It doesn't matter if they're good comments or bad comments. I have to realize that my vision is the most important thing, because of how I conduct my business is based on, I want to provide for my family, and my family is the reason why I do what I do, to provide for them. I don't care what you say about me. That's not going to interfere with how I conduct my business, regardless of what you think about me. My providing for my family overrides your thought about me. And maybe that's a value that you can incorporate into your vision, because we discussed of the importance of values. Learn to turn your charismatic character on, because As an introvert, I can be really, when I turn on the video, I can be introverted and it's boring. So I have to learn to turn this switch on that becomes a little amplified, and it becomes a charismatic character that says, this is who I am, and I turn this character on when I teach, and I turn this character on when I do online trainings, because my normal pace on video is boring. So if you're an introvert and you practice filming yourself and you say, oh my gosh, I'm so boring, this is horrible, you need to learn to turn on the switch to turn this charismatic character on that will amplify your passion for teaching and helping other people in the world. So that's what you really do. You're just tapping into passion. It's not something artificial. You're just not used to it. It's unfamiliar territory for you. You've never been taught how to turn it on. If you want to spend $5,000 on a training of how to communicate on stage, and your mentor will say, you need to learn to amp this up a little bit, and you're busting through these uncomfortable zones inside of you like an onion, shedding away fear to learn a system that eventually turns into how you communicate, and you can spend thousands of dollars to learn how to turn that little button on, and it's a charismatic character that just expresses itself with passion. So I have a few other things for you that's a very important part of learning how to tell the world that I teach in my training programs that goes more into a system, but that's enough right there to cover everything from vision, define, and learn to tell the world. And I want to tell you right now that the most important part of all of that is take action right now. Don't wait. Don't try to make it perfect. Perfection is a mask that you put on to hide vulnerability. Express your vulnerability. Learn to communicate your vulnerability. Tell the world about that. Define what your vulnerability is that makes that. Start making practice videos and turn them off and look at them, watch them, delete them, and start another one. Practice making your videos. Practice expressing your vision. Write it out on a board, put it on a whiteboard, put it in your journal, put it on your iPad. Just learn to communicate those things. Start today. And that is what's going to get you into a motion that the momentum reveals your potential reveals your vision, and over a period of time, 1 month, one video, 1 month, one thing, just do one thing at a time for 1 week, and in 1 year, you will have made a library of progress and content and information that you wish you would have done 10 years ago. But it's better to start today. So in the comments down below, tell me, how are you going to define, how are you going to express your vision, and how are you going to communicate to the world and tell people your voice? And I would love to hear about that. So for now, keep your eye out for the second part of this series, and that's going to be dealing with these guys right here, and it's called the red ocean and the blue ocean. So look out for vision, planning, and communicating for your red and blue ocean in session number 2. Have a great day.